All right, shalom to the elect. I want to start by giving them the praises, honor, and glory to whom it rightfully belongs, which is Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Akakwadash. And what I said was all the praises, honor, and glory belongs to Yahweh, who is the Heavenly Father, in the name of the Son, Yahweh Shai, who is the Messiah, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. And this is an article that came out like 5 days ago. But pretty much Chile, all right, Chile and South America, all right, was had a power outage, okay, and it was like they said 98% of the people down there, all right, they said 98% of the people down there, you know, were left, in darkness, without, you know, I believe it might be just the capital Slovakia, but nevertheless, all right. Well, here it says Chile has announced a state of emergency and a curfew after a major power outage that plunged around 8 million homes into darkness. It was caused by a transmission line failure in the country's north, bringing entire cities to a standstill. Many Seagulls report. But yeah, pretty much, nevertheless, whether it be a city or a bunch of cities, okay, or damn near the whole of Chile, all right, this might possibly come to America, man. So I'm gonna just play a little bit of this, if not the whole video.
A nationwide blackout forces the streets of Santiago to run on little more than passing headlights. Thousands of soldiers have been deployed to affected regions to guarantee the safety of people left with little to do during a nighttime curfew.
The blackout happened while I was at work. Our equipment shut down, so after 30 minutes, our bosses sent us home.
Authorities were quick to rule out a cyber attack as the cause, confirming a crucial transmission line had been disconnected. In a late-night address, Chile's president said power had been restored to around half of the 8 million homes affected.
All our energy is focused on ensuring that companies comply with the recovery of the system and that electricity is restored throughout the entire country.
The outage hit in the early afternoon. Mines in Chile's north were affected, though no emergency situations were reported. In its more populated central and southern regions, traffic jams stretched for miles, while others became trapped in elevators.
There's nothing. No cash, no metro, nothing.
The Santiago Metro, which transports millions of passengers, was forced to shut down, with several people evacuated from stalled trains.
It was bad. I had just left a psychology appointment and had been crying a lot. Suddenly, we were caught in the tunnel and I had a panic attack. The station manager had to get me out. There were so many people.
Catching a bus wasn't much better. Old shuttles from the 1990s and early 2000s were brought back from retirement to help alleviate the high demand.
It usually takes us 35 minutes to get home, but we've been waiting for the bus for about 5 hours. For the past 3 hours, every bus has been full. They don't want to stop.
An investigation has been launched as Chile's president vows to hold the relevant bodies responsible in a true exercise of power. Manny Tsigas, ABC News.
All right. As you see, let me play that last part again, Salakia.
He's responsible in a true exercise.
Don't want to stop.
An investigation has been launched as Chile's president vows to hold the relevant bodies responsible in a true exercise of power. Manny Tsigas, ABC News.
Something the woman has said, Salakia.
Out. There were so many people.
Catching a bus wasn't much better. Old shuttles from the 1990s and early 2000s were from stalled trains.
It was bad. I had just left a psychology appointment and had been crying a lot. Suddenly, we were caught in the tunnel and I had a panic attack. The station manager had to get me out. There were so many people.
Catching a bus wasn't much better. Old shuttles from the 1990s and early 2000s were brought back from retirement to help alleviate the high demand.
It usually takes us 35 minutes to get home, but we've been waiting for the bus for about 5 hours. For the past 3 hours, every bus has been full. They don't want to stop.
An investigation has been.
All right, so you get the idea, okay? So the blackout happened down in Chile, okay? And by the way, Chile, all right, the people of Argentina and Chile, all right, are the tribe of Naphtali. So the tribe of Naphtali down there, you know, they experienced some hardship, okay, with this power outage. And the thing is, right, this could possibly come to America because everyone knows, or people that haven't paid attention know that, in the, recently in the past times, all right, um, you know, it's been talked about, a blackout happening, a power outage, in America. Okay, and you see, like, a blackout happened and it caused a lot of society to stop. Okay, a lot of things not working. Says a woman took some hours to get home when normally it takes 35 minutes. All right, so just think about all the possibilities. Now, it said in an article recently, right? It says electricity returns to most of Chile after a sweeping blackout, but questions remain. Right now, here, all right, this came out February 26, 2025. Santiago, Chile says power was restored to most of Chile's 19 million people Wednesday after the country's most disruptive blackout in 15 years. The government said as authorities lifted a strict curfew imposed when the outage left 98% of the population without electricity. Chilean Interior Minister Carolina Toja said electricity had largely returned to Chile's 14 afflicted regions, although 220,000 residents remain without power on Wednesday. All right. So, yeah, so a bunch of places in Chile, okay? It wasn't just one city, one area. It was a bunch of places, all right? So 14 afflicted regions. It said restoring power proved to be more problematic in the country's north, where a fault in a backbone transmission line first triggered the outage that set off a chain reaction of power plant and transmission line shutdowns across the South American nation. Exactly how that happened remains under investigation. Toha told reporters that authorities were also investigating the circumstances under which 3 people died during Tuesday's blackout, saying they had been dependent on electricity without offering further details. So you see, it said 3 people had, got deleted during it. All right, now let me just type this in and see what comes up. All right, so here, because it could probably happen to America, right? So it says a blackout in America. So I typed in on Google effects of a blackout in America, right? It says a blackout in America will cause widespread disruption to daily life, including sport. Because the thing is, you got to understand, right? We're not, in ancient times anymore. Okay, in ancient times, blackout wouldn't really like, it wouldn't be that unless there was no fire or something like that. But basically, the point I'm trying to make is this society that we live in today now, it runs on electricity, man. A lot of things run on electricity. So that gets taken out, then society collapses. Goes into like chaos pretty much. It says a blackout, and I'm in an area I lived in. I've had a blackout before, man. And let me just tell you, man, people ain't used to how dark it is. Okay, like without because at nighttime in certain places, cities and everything, you got street lights, that show some light on the street. People feel more comfortable when there's light around, right? But when it's nighttime and there's no um there is no street light, man, is different. And then on top of that, because the place I'm at, it was a blackout. Some like the electricity had failed, around. It wasn't just for my house, but people around. All right, and nothing was working. Not even the alarm system. Because people have alarms in their homes. You know, but however, it says a blackout in America will cause widespread disruption to daily life, including spoiled food due to lack of refrigeration. See, once again, because what people go to the supermarkets and then they come home and put their food in the refrigerator for the most of it, right? It says compromised medical care for those relying on electric equipment, and that's what happened over here. They said 3 people died because of it because they were dependent on electricity. You see, you know, it says hampered transportation systems. Yeah, people take the bus, they take the trains, all of that, man. It says communication breakdowns, potential economic losses from business closures, and increased risk of carbon monoxide poisoning from improper generator usage, especially impacting vulnerable populations like the elderly and those with medical needs during extreme weather conditions. Key impacts of a blackout, then it says all of these. All right. You know, it says duration of outage. Longer blackouts lead to more significant impacts. Weather condition, extreme heat or cold can exacerbate health risks. Vulnerable populations, elderly people with medical needs, and those in rural areas are particularly at risk. So you see what can happen, if a blackout happens. Okay, and thing is, if it happens in America, it happens in America, ain't no telling how long it's gonna be, man. Okay, because within a couple hours, stuff can go bad. And I ain't talking about just food. Chaos can unfold. Because think about it. If a communication systems is break down and all that, how to and food is going bad and it lasts for a long period of time, how can you call the police if someone comes breaks in? You know, because the thing is, people when you have break-ins and things like that, people call 911. Then you got to call them. You see, unless you flag them down or something and they're nearby. But who's to say they're going to be nearby for everybody? See, chaos is coming to America, man. And then the thing is, the scriptures also talk about this, right? This is the book of Second Ezra, 15. Right, Second Ezra chapter 15, and starting at verse 10, it says, "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt." All right, we know the new modern day Egypt is America. Verse 11, "But I will bring them with the mighty hand and the stretched out arm," talking about Yahweh coming back and delivering his elect, "and smite Egypt, America, with plagues as before." That's the point, right? As before. So the same plagues that hit ancient Egypt, okay, is going to hit America, you know. And then what's this one? Um, okay, so this is the book of Exodus, chapter 10, right, starting from verse 21. It says, "And Yahweh said unto Moses, Stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt." So this was a thick darkness, man. Verse 22, "And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings." You see? So there was darkness. The Lord had brought the plague of darkness over ancient Egypt. Okay, that was one of the plagues the Lord had done. Okay. AI overview. It says, in the biblical story of the Exodus, the plague of darkness refers to the ninth plague inflicted upon Egypt, where thick darkness covered the entire land for 3 days, preventing people from seeing one another, while the Israelites remained unaffected and had light in their dwellings. This event is described in the book of Exodus, where Moses is instructed to stretch out his hand towards the sky to bring about the darkness. Okay. The thing is, so that's one of the plagues. And it said America, aka the modern day Egypt, is going to get hit with the same plagues, all right, as ancient Egypt, pretty much. All right. And the thing is, if a blackout and all that happens, okay, and ain't no telling how long it's gonna last. Look, these next verses could unfold. Second Ezra, especially this. Second Ezra 15 and 19. "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." Yeah, food spoiling, right? If food is going bad, then you're going to want to go take from someone else. Okay. And a man will have no pity on his neighbor. You don't care, you know, because of the famine is coming because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Okay. So, this Chile outage, all right, and the electricity said for the most part got restored, but you know, this could possibly come to America. Okay. And then once again, yeah, think about all the elderly and then people with disabilities and all of that. Yeah, when this chaos happens, they gonna be at risk. Okay, they gonna be in a bad time, man. Okay, the time like never before coming. All right, you know. But yeah, this is reality that we're living in. Okay, the Lord is gonna bring these things. The Lord He gonna do something. He gonna look. Just wait. This stuff is coming, man. These prophecies ain't written for no reason. Second Ezra 15, the first two verses. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, say the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. So it's going to happen, man. All right? It's going to happen. Okay? So just wait on it. All right? And we need it to, desperately. All right? So that's pretty much that. I wanted to report that out. So, hey, Lord, when this lesson was edifying, giving all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Hakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, every well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. Shalom to the elect.